And greetings, welcome. Thank you for being here, folks. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side, and we welcome your phone calls. We want to hear from you if you've got questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to wean yourself off your meds, and get on a good nutritional supplement program. If you have a success story, if you just want to comment, or if you have a question about anything that's going on in this corona crazy time that we're living in, we want to hear from you. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls. At the bottom of the hour, Andy Frazier, CEO and editor-in-chief with LLC, a media company that inspires women, is going to talk to us today about the crisis and its effect on your aging parents. This is one of the hidden challenges that with all the stuff we're dealing with today is the fact that a lot of people are stuck in the house and can't get out, and they're at the end or they're approaching the end of their lives. People in their 80s, people in their 90s who are really terrified about this crisis are losing the last precious months of their lives being stuck in the house. This is such a tragedy on so many levels, what we're going through today, most importantly because it's completely unnecessary. If we understand how our bodies work, if we understand how the world works, how microbes work, how immunology works, we will be so much more in control of our realities. We will be so much less likely to be hoodwinked by crises, so-called, air quotes, and health scams and hoaxes. I'm not saying anything about this in particular, but I have my own opinions about it. But in general, we're so misled by the medical model in terms of how we take care of ourselves and how we take care of our bodies. And it all stems from the fact that we don't understand our bodies. It is so important, people. It is so important to figure out how your body works. And it's not complicated. We're in a trance. We're in a hypnotic trance where we believe our bodies are complicated, where we believe our biology is complicated, where we believe our biochemistry is complicated. It is not. And the impact that it's having on people who are stuck in the house, who are elderly, just breaks my heart. Aging parents is a big issue, and this is what Andy Frazier, CEO and editor-in-chief of MyWorth LLC, and the author of Financially Free 11 Conversations You Can Have with Yourself About Life, Money, and Worth, is going to talk to us about today. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls next segment. If you want to purchase longevity products, call Brightside. Go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470. So yesterday we were talking about the blood, the clotting system, the coagulation system. The blood represents it probably represents the hidden source of all health challenges. This is, if you want to really simplify how the body works, and obviously it's in our interest to do that, to simplify how the body works because it sounds so complicated, it seems so complicated, go to the blood, period. Go to the blood. The life of the body is in the blood. Everything is about the blood. The blood, the blood, the blood. The blood carries the nutrients, the blood carries the toxins. The blood heals, the blood makes us sick. The blood is the key to everything. And if you're not shooting things up IV, if you're not injecting things in through your skin, and by the way, this is the big problem with vaccines, it pollutes the blood. If you're not injecting things through the skin, excluding vaccines, which everybody has to do, and only God knows the impact that has on our health. Aside from that, it's digestion. Digestion. Now, I always talk about the digestive system. Dr. Wallach always talks about the digestive system. When I go on George Noory, sometimes they'll say to me, "Oh, Ben, you're such a scammer. You're always talking about the digestive system. Everything's the digestive system." Not a lot of people say that, but some people say it. Some people think that the fact that we focus on one thing to get healthy is a sign that it's a scam, that the nutrition's a scam, that alternative health it doesn't make sense. Because for every health challenge, you always say the digestive system. Well, duh, if you understand even a little bit about the relationship of the blood to our health, I mean, if it just makes sense to you, then you know everything's about the digestive system. Not necessarily all about gluten, but it's all about the digestive system. And if you want to throw one more thing in, if you're brave enough to accept the challenge of one more thing, it's the blood sugar system. Between digestion and blood sugar, you got everything, because those are the way the blood gets polluted. It gets polluted from toxins that come in through the digestive system and sugar. And sugar represents a toxin. We call it blood sugar because diabetes and is a blood sugar issue. And blood sugar, or when it becomes elevated, you're basically it's like putting sugar in your gas tank. You know that old prank the kids play sometimes, or you've heard about maybe people put sugar in the gas tank. What does that do? It gums it up because sugar is reactive. It's very reactive. That's why the body uses it for energy. It's so reactive. But that reaction to get the energy out of sugar, the chemical reaction is very intricate and very complex. You can't just put sugar in the system. You have to put sugar in the system in a controlled fashion. When sugar gets in the system, the way it's getting in the system in our lives, it mucks up the works. Add into that digestive toxicity, add into that bacterial toxicity that comes in through leaky gut into the blood, and it makes perfect sense why we're so sick. It makes perfect sense why we're so vulnerable to viral infections, real or not real, or any kind of infections. It makes perfect sense. But it also makes perfect sense that the solution is to work on the blood. And it's not hard to do. First of all, you work on digestive health. You patch up the gut. That's why patching up the gut, what I call patching up the gut, metaphorically, using nutrients to build up the intestinal lining, if you want to be more specific, and eliminating burdens, eliminating stressors on the intestinal lining. You do it from both directions, is job number one. The immune system is located in the gut logically because that's the entrance to the blood. Everything's logical in the body. Everything makes perfect sense. The system is a system. Every piece is there perfectly to fit in. It is the definition of a system is an entity that has a bunch of parts that all work together independently, all work together coherently even though they're independent. That's the definition of a system. The body's a system. Every part is important, every part plays a role, and it all gets sustained from one source, which is the blood. All disease is cell disease, and all cell disease is secondary to dirty blood. This is our point of power. And anything you can do to facilitate circulation is going to improve your health, and anything that you do that compromises circulation is going to make you miserable. My mom is dealing with peripheral neuropathy now, and she has no idea what to do. Her legs are completely swollen, and she's going to doctors. She doesn't listen to me, by the way. She goes to doctors, and the doctors don't know what to do either. Peripheral neuropathy, her feet and her toes are on fire. She can't go to sleep. Her legs are completely swollen, and she hasn't made the link, and her doctors haven't made the link. I should talk to her doctor about it. He says, no, her blood sugar is fine. No, it's not fine, doctor. Anyway, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll continue when we come back from our break and take your phone calls. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have a couple lines open for you. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, or a comment or success story you'd like to share, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls momentarily. Andy Fraser will be with us at the bottom of the hour. She is the editor-in-chief of My Worth LLC, and she's the author of Financially Free, 11 Conversations to Have with Yourself about Life, Money, and Worth. We're going to talk about, can this crisis create a strain on the care of your aging parent, which is, or parents, which is a very interesting topic. My mom is 87 years old, stuck in the house. Her health is she's falling apart. It's just heartbreaking. What's the stuff that's going on today with older folks? Listen, if we're talking about the importance of the blood, and we're talking about the importance of circulation, and we're talking about the importance of nutrient delivery and detoxification via the circulatory system, it's one of the worst things you could do is to be stuck in the house. And a lot of people are stuck in the house. They got backyards, and a lot of people are stuck in the house, and they can take a walk to the park. But older folks, they depend on going to the store and running errands. They're not walking to the park. It's hard enough for them to get out of the house, let alone have to walk to the park to get some exercise. If they can do that, most of them are just stuck in an apartment somewhere. Many of them are stuck in an apartment like my mom. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And it all comes from the fact that we don't understand the basics about the body. The circulatory system is the key. All disease is cell disease. All cell disease is dirty blood. Clean the blood, move the blood, feed the blood, oxygenate the blood. That's how you stay healthy. Feed the blood, clean the blood, move the blood, oxygenate the blood. Feed the blood, clean the blood, nutriate the blood, and oxygenate it. Oxygen, by the way, is incredibly important, and this is an oxygen issue. Health challenges. Coronavirus deals on an oxygen-based issue. And it's not necessarily, by the way, a lung-based issue, even though we're treating the lungs. It seems to be that, and this has been on a couple of YouTubes that have been taken down. What's up with taking down videos? Hello? What's going on? Why are we taking down videos? Is it something we're trying not to see? So anyways, there's a bunch of YouTube videos now about from doctors talking about, hey, look, this isn't a ventilator thing. This is an oxygen thing, an oxygen blood thing. Clean the blood. We'll talk about the importance, how the blood, the nature of the blood, and the composition of the blood, and what you can do specifically for the blood in the coming days, because that's really, really important for general health issues, for chronic diseases, and specifically for what we're dealing with here today, or these days, which is in large part a blood health issue. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got a whole bunch of folks who want to talk to us. Let's go to Roy in California and see what he has to say. What's up, Roy? Good morning. Or Rory, I'm sorry. I apologize. Rory. Rory? Going once. Going twice. I don't know where Rory is. We'll put Rory back on hold, and we'll go to Carl, the Truth Raider. What's up, Carl? How you doing, man? How you doing, man? Long time no talk to you.
I'm still doing well, Ben. How are you this morning? I feel for you. I've dealt with relatives and others that won't listen.
What do you do?
Do modern day stuff. So I feel the frustration. I can empathize. Yeah, I lost my mom 11 years ago. I lost my dad 28 years ago. They're all gone. Unfortunately, my aunt and then her husband passed away. So they're not really missing anything. With all this crazy stuff, they're not missing anything. But
well,
so they're in a better place. Anyway, I wanted to talk really quick about two topics. Really quick.
Yeah.
Kylo is
what is it?
It's like a Kylo. It's called
Kylo.
It's a brand name. And it's like a screen. Say, for example, you take the screen off your cell phone. It's brand new. That plastic type of thing that's brand new. The screen on your cell phone, and it has electrodes on it. And what you do is you tape it on an afflicted area that has pain, and it blocks your brain from having signals to feeling the pain. I don't know if you heard of that.
Kylo. How did you spell it?
The Kailo.
Kylo. And it electromagnetically neutralizes pain.
Yes. It's it looks like a strip of clear plastic, like
it's like a patch. It's a patch.
Yeah, it's like a clear sheet.
I've heard of those. It's not an MLM company. I heard of an MLM company that's doing these patches. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you got pain, if you have intractable pain and you can't deal with it, the pain, you'll do anything. And maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I haven't heard of that. Kailo. I haven't heard of that necessarily. But I do know what you're talking about. Pain is an electromagnetic phenomenon, but it serves a purpose. It's there to tell you something. Now, people are degenerating and deteriorating, and they're elderly, and there's nothing much they could do except for, well, I shouldn't say that, because there's always something you could do. But they don't know what to do, or by the time they'll get some benefit from what they're doing, it might be months down the road, or at least days or weeks. Right. They want to do something now. When you're in pain, you want something now. It may work. Yeah. I can't speak to it, but pain is an electromagnetic phenomenon, so I can see the logic. What's your second question?
Now, the other thing I had to talk about is, it's been going on for over 20 years. It's not popular now because of the crisis that we've had, so everything's shut down socially. But they were talking about these male enhancement medications and things. They saw they were constantly putting that on the radio.
It's very unlikely that you're going to get more than a little bit of enhancement unless you use DHEA. Yeah. DHEA, but they don't put DHEA in there, or sometimes zinc and vitamin E can work, but you're not going to get, if you're small, let's say, you're not going to get that much bigger. But if you have a health issue that's keeping you from getting blood, from delivering blood to the area, which is really the problem, you got a circulatory problem, and that can be compounded by female hormone, estrogen, and there's a whole bunch of things associated with xenoestrogens. And as men get older, they don't make as much testosterone. They're more estrogenic. Sugar and fat are associated with estrogen. Basically, domestication is estrogenic. Estrogen is your domesticating hormone. And that's why it's a female hormone, because women are domestic. They take care of the house. Evolutionarily speaking, before, I'm not saying it has to be that way, but from an evolutionary perspective, women took care of the family and the house, and estrogen is a domestic type of hormone. When men produce more estrogen, they become less virile and more domesticated. And a lot of the problems with our current modern 21st century lifestyle, including fluoride and xenoestrogens and sugar and body fat, all of these have a negative effect on virility. We become domesticated. We become dumb. We become susceptible to suggestion. We become less creative, less critical. We don't critically think as much. All this is part of our 21st century modern domesticating lifestyle. And by the way, folks, the immune system needs germs to be activated. Trying to eliminate germs from our lives, whether they're viral or whether they're bacterial, is not necessarily a healthy strategy for the immune system. Babies who are kept in a bubble, who don't have the opportunity to, aren't exposed to germs and microbes, don't have as good an immune system as kids who are raised on farms. So, that's another thing that we want to be examining. Hey, I want to see what Rory has to say. Call back. Thanks, Carl. Be good, man. Have a good day. Take care. Hey, Rory. Sorry, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, Ben. Sorry about that. Hey, Plandemic is a video that was up early this morning.
It's not up anymore.
It was on YouTube.
What's with the censoring? What's with the censoring, Rory? Help me.
Well, they don't want it. They don't want us to see what's going on.
Who is they?
Fuchs is a no good dick.
Who is they?
Anyway.
No, who is they?
Fuchs. The people that own the pharmaceuticals.
Hughes.
The people that own the pharmaceuticals. Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry, Rory. We got to go, buddy. But can you call back tomorrow?
I'd love to talk to you.
All right, man. Be good. All right. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We've got Andy Frazier. We're going to talk about taking care of your aging parents in our next segment. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back after this. On the bright side, I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We had a guest coming up, and we can't seem to get a hold of Andy Frazier. So we will still try, but in the meantime, we'll take your calls, 844-236-6010. If you're on hold, hang on. We'll get to you in just a moment. I want to remind you to check out our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com and all the longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and also, please, check out the business opportunity. If you are dealing with financial stress, or if you just want to be in the health business, this is a golden opportunity to work out of home. Work out of your home. Working out of your home is always great, but now it's especially important to have some kind of security, especially if you have a job and you're on furlough, or you've been laid off, or you think you might be laid off. If you're in the restaurant business, real estate business, some business where your income has been affected by what's going on, you don't want to be held hostage to whatever changes or cultural conditions happen to be, the wind happens to blow in. Nobody expected this thing to happen, and it happened. But if you had a home-based business, you were prepared. And if you were been building a home-based business, you maybe didn't even feel it financially. On the other hand, if you were working for a living, if you were working in a restaurant or in a bar or as a dental hygienist or even as a nurse, a lot of nurses are getting laid off. A lot of healthcare professionals are getting laid off. Ironic in this health crisis that a lot of healthcare professionals are getting laid off. Please take a look at the business opportunity at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. I personally can help you build your business. The company can help you build your business. Checks are great. People are making money. Call 866-735-2470 if you want more information, or go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, and I would welcome you to join the Brightside Ben team. All right, so we'll wait for Andy Frazier, because I really was hoping to speak to her. She had a very interesting topic and relevant topic. But in the meantime, we'll take your phone calls, 844-236-6010. Good morning to Our friend Dorian. What's up, Dorian? How you doing today?
Hi, Ben. Good morning.
How you hanging out there? And how's everything? You're in Virginia, right?
Yes.
Whereabouts in Virginia? Are you near D.C.?
Alexandria.
Yeah. Alexandria. What do you do out there, by the way?
Yes.
What do you do, Dorian? We'll get to know you a little bit.
Well, engineering is what I've been trained in.
And you are an engineer, or you've been trained in engineering?
I studied engineering in college, and I guess I am an engineer.
Do you get paid to engineer?
You can see that, yes.
And what exactly do you engineer? Engineering is a really cool word to me, and the concept of putting things together and engineering it and making things happen is a very interesting concept. I like to think I'm a health engineer, but what do you engineer, Dorian?
Well, I like thinking I'm a health engineer also.
Okay.
I like engineering things for health,
but you get paid to engineer. Yeah. That's your profession.
Yes.
And what exactly are you trained? What kind of engineering do you specialize in?
Electrical.
My favorite kind of engineering, I have to say. So do you like the idea of systems? Engineers all know about systems.
Yes.
That's probably why you like health so much. The body is a great system. Isn't it a classic system?
Fantastic.
Right? Isn't it amazing? It's systems within systems. The body is systems within systems within systems. It's fractally systematic. There's systems. It's one system is underneath another system, and almost infinitely, anyway, until you get to the atoms. We go low on what we do here on the bright side is we get to the basic as we can get, which is the quantum. Really, the quantum system is the most basic system in the body, and that's really where you have your most leverage. I bet that's why you like this program, is because we talk about the systemic nature of the body, the systemic nature of the body, right?
Yes. Yeah, really definitely.
Good deal. So anyway, engineering is a good skill to have, and how can we help you today, my friend?
Okay. Well, I do have some unexplainable weight loss.
You do?
I don't know. Yes. I can't explain why I am losing weight. I'm not doing anything.
How tall are you? What's your height to weight? What is your height to weight?
I am about 5'2", and my weight is now about only 100 pounds. I was 110.
You're going to blow away in the wind. You're going to blow away in the wind there, Dorian. And what were you at?
I was previously 110. I dropped to 105, and now, as I checked, I think it was about 102.
Okay, and then you're built narrow, I take it?
Yes.
Okay, and then tell any other health challenges, any medication you're on, do you feel, what are some other symptoms? Losing weight is a symptom, but you have to triangulate. You need multiple symptoms to see what's going on. Losing weight can be a serious problem, but you want to triangulate by pointing you got to get other dots, got to get other data points to get to form a picture. So give me some other symptoms.
Okay. Well, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was younger.
Okay.
But my blood sugars have been running fairly steady and normal.
And diabetes and really insulin issues. If you have type 1 diabetes and you're not making enough insulin, insulin's a weight gain substance. You may have had some changes in your diabetic status, and that could account for that. But go ahead. What else?
I was trying to give you at least 3 things.
Yeah.
The weight loss, the diabetes, and...
Anything else? Skin issues, tired, depressed, bowel movements, gas, digestive?
The tiredness.
Fatigue.
I often, if I'm idle, I just fall asleep.
No, there's something going on, buddy. There's definitely something going on. If you have a combination of weight loss and then and fatigue, and you're also type 1 diabetic, there's definitely something percolating in there. I'd be looking at personally, if I was going to work with it, I would be looking at food issues. Diabetes is an autoimmune disease, right? Autoimmune diseases are digestive diseases, almost by definition, even though nobody treats them as such. And I'll tell you why. when you have an autoimmune disease, whether it's, and type 1 diabetes, by the way, doesn't get classified as an autoimmune disease as much as it should. When we hear about type 1 diabetes, we focus on the diabetes part, the insulin part, and the blood sugar part, which is important, but we don't often focus on the autoimmune part of the disease. You follow me? The autoimmune part of the disease is the part where the body's attacking the pancreas. Then you have you have blood sugar problems. And we always focus on the blood sugar, but we don't focus on the attack. So the attack is coming in through the blood. All autoimmune diseases represent or a sign of blood toxicity. And that is why when people get injections, they can get autoimmune disease. When they get vaccinations, those can trigger autoimmune problems. It's because once you corrupt the blood, it's very easy to jump into deterioration of tissue. When you have deterioration of tissue, whether it's the pancreas or the thyroid or the nerves, whatever the tissue is, you have a situation that's ripe for an autoimmune attack. I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. Hang on, Dorian. We're going to give you some concierge service here because we can't seem to get a hold of our guests. So hang on, Dorian. We also have lots of lines open, 844-236-6010. We're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're talking. We've got lines open 844-236-6010. We're talking a little bit about autoimmunity, and the it's kind of hard to say, and the bloodstream and the circulatory system. When we talk about diabetes, Dorian, we always think about the blood sugar aspect, which makes sense because it's a pancreatic problem. The body attacks the cells that make the insulin. You probably know all this, and so it's important to focus on insulin and blood sugar and eating correctly, etc. But because it's an autoimmune problem, all autoimmune problems involve the digestive system. It does sound like things are happening there. Things are getting worse. You said your blood sugar is maintaining stability. Nonetheless, you do have some symptoms of blood sugar issues. So I would think that you might want to focus on the digestive system. Did you notice anything that's changed along the way you feel when you eat? Do you have a history of digestive problems, bloating, gas, discomfort, constipation, anything like that?
I used to.
Yeah, until?
That has
what did you do different?
Gotten better.
How did you change? What did you do to change?
I've been supplementing heavily all the time. I use chlorophyll as well as the digestive enzymes.
And food, how did you handle food? Did you do anything differently in terms of how you handle food?
Yes, I eliminated a few with a food diary.
You might want to continue. You might want to work on that a little bit. And then there's also a really cool book. It's a textbook written by a couple of PhDs and actually written by a PhD and an MD called Food-Associated Autoimmunities: When Food Breaks Your Immune System. It is written like a textbook. So it's not like easy reading necessarily, but it sounds like you might appreciate it. And in fact, anybody who's interested in the food connection and the digestive connection, which I've been talking about for decades, and I still talk about all the time, and nobody else seems to understand this in terms of the medical model. So I was actually quite thrilled to see this book. I bought it about a year ago. Food-Associated Autoimmunities. It's got people in it like David Perlmutter, who's written a lot about gluten, and also Dr. Mark Hyman, who's a functional medicine guy. I'm not big on functional medicine, but it's got a lot of really cool people in here who have helped publish this book. As I say, it's a textbook. So it's got a lot of different authors in it, but it's not that bad. It's easy to understand, and it really highlights the very, very underappreciated and significant connection between the digestive system, the foods we're eating, and autoimmunity. And it's no accident that autoimmune health issues have just skyrocketed in the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years. It really didn't even have a concept of autoimmunity until the turn of the 20th century. And that's really when our food supply, the corruption of our food supply began in earnest at the beginning of the 20th century. And a lot of health issues that hadn't happened historically, or at least hadn't been described historically, really started to become a problem. And autoimmune diseases are one of those. And today, I think it's something like 1 out of 4 Americans has an autoimmune problem, which is ridiculous. For 1 out of 4, is that you, Dorian, in the background there? There's some kind of beeping sound.
My continuous glucose monitor is ringing.
Oh, it is. All right, it's having. Yeah. All right, good. All right, that's interesting. That's kind of ironic, as we talk about it behind its back. So this connection, this relationship between food and the digestive system is very underappreciated, but more and more it's becoming appreciated as more and more we're starting to respect the fundamental connection between the digestive system and the blood and the way the body shows up in terms of health or lack thereof. The immune system is a classic way that blood toxicity, secondary to digestive toxicity, shows up. And there's no autoimmune diseases. If you understand the logic of the body, forget symptoms, forget numbers, forget test scores. If you understand the logic of the body, you can see how when the blood becomes corrupted, the immune system will become activated. Technically what happens, Dorian, it's kind of interesting. When you eat foods that are not, this is how the digestive connection to autoimmune diseases is created or takes shape. When you eat food that's not somehow is not good for, is not healthy, or in combination with intestinal permeability, the intestine breaking down, things get into the blood that shouldn't. Things are only supposed to get into the bloodstream in a controlled fashion. There's these tremendous mechanisms in the intestine that keep vitamins and minerals and essential nutrients from flooding into the body. And these systems keep the bad stuff out. The bad stuff being food toxins or unprocessed foods, specifically unprocessed protein. In fact, unprocessed protein is the big problem, which is why if you have an autoimmune disease, you want to use proteases, which are digestive enzymes that break down protein. In fact, just get digestive enzymes. Forget, most digestive enzymes have proteases in them, including the ultimate enzymes from longevity. And the ultimate enzymes from longevity are very, very, very helpful for immunity, for autoimmunity, for blood cleaning, for facilitating the movement of blood. So by getting on digestive enzymes, proteases, you can improve the digestion of proteins, and that way you don't have these little peptides, which are undigested proteins, leaking into the blood. If you don't have enough digestive enzymes, or if you're not making enough stomach acid to activate the proteases, to activate the digestive enzymes, peptides, which are strings of amino acids, undigested protein you can think of them as, they'll leak into the blood and they'll wreak havoc on the bloodstream. The immune system sees these peptides, which you may have gotten from a hamburger or a veggie burger or bean sprouts or anything that has them. You may have gotten these peptides from something you ate, and then the immune system sees the peptides in the blood. If you have leaky gut, you're not digesting appropriately, and you have leaky gut. And the immune system doesn't know that came from a hamburger. It thinks it came from an enemy that somehow got into the blood, because peptides represent life. Proteins represent to the immune system life, and the immune system is keyed in to looking for peptides that don't belong there. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
These peptides that don't belong there trigger an immune response. The immune response occurs in the blood, and you will literally have a clot in the blood made up of immune cells. A glob in the blood made up of the peptides plus immune cells. They're called circulating immune complexes, CICs they call them. And these CICs are associated with all autoimmune problems, including type 1 diabetes. What happens is these CICs end up in organs. The blood will dump them out, and they'll just come to rest in various systems in the body, organs especially, and also connective tissue. In fact, between the connective tissue and the soft tissue, you have the great dumping ground of these toxins, and then the immune system will attack the toxins that are in the thyroid or in the pancreas, or in wherever the nerve ending or the intestine, wherever that CIC has come to rest. It is now the enemy living in the thyroid, we'll say. It can also distort the thyroid. It can cause inflammation in the thyroid. All of this causes the immune system to now attack the thyroid. So when the medical model hears about autoimmunity, they say, oh, the immune system is going crazy. The immune system has lost its mind. The immune system has gone haywire. No, it hasn't. The immune system is just as intelligent as it ever was, except now, because the organ has been distorted, the cells of the organ have been distorted by these CICs. Now the gland looks like the enemy, and it's the subject of attack. We have an autoimmune problem. All this is to say, if you backtrack to the intestine and to the stomach and the digestive system, you have your answer. You have your solution, in combination with cleaning the blood, of course, which there's lots of ways to do that. I got to let you go, Dorm. I can't handle that noise, buddy.
Okay.
So, anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that helps explain it. we want to learn to get to the soil. We want to learn we see problems in the leaf level, so it's natural to want to take care of the leaf, but the problem is not at the level of the leaf. The problem is at the level of the soil. And this is a metaphor that you can apply to all problems. Where you see the problem is not where you want to solve the problem. You want to go behind. So if you have a sociological issue, you want to go to the cause. If you have a political problem, you want to go to the cause. And if you have a health problem, you want to go to the cause. And the good news about health problems, when you go to the cause, there's not a lot there. You got the blood, which then is secondary to problems at the level of the blood themselves, are secondary to the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and also the stress management system. The digestive system, the blood sugar system, the stress management system. Guess what they call that? I guess what I call that? The triangle of disease. It all boils back down to the triangle of disease. All disease is cell disease. All cell disease is preceded by dirty blood. All dirty blood health issues can be addressed at the level of the triangle, and that, my friends, is the key to health and longevity. All right. Thank you so much for listening to The Bright Side. Please check out our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com for all the longevity products and the longevity business opportunity. Now is a time to start a home-based business. There is no better time than today. You can also call 866-735-2470. And our True Skin Health products, including Mother's Day specials, are all up at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a beautiful, wonderful, awesome, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.